What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage, and today we're going to be putting together our MB200 mini bike. This is going to be the ultimate mini bike build. We've upgraded every single piece of this bike, powder coated the chassis, and it's going to be absolutely awesome killer of a mini bike when we get done. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and make sure to check out the links in the video description if you want to recreate this build. So we got the frame all put back together. We got a new tank. It's been powder coated. We put our metal slugs that we're selling on our website now to beef up the MB200. And we'll do like a full in-depth how-to on Lonnie's bike because it's next on the chopping block. I want to do the same stuff to get new gas tank, everything. Both of our gas tanks was leaking at the little cups that grab onto the frame. So I'm expecting they'll eventually do it again. Just they can't handle the abuse. So now, Go Power Sports has an upgrade front end kit for the MB200s, but they've been out of stock for a while. So I'm just going to rebuild this one, and we're also going to change out the shock oil with Amsoil, and we're going to go with medium. We're going to put a little bit more, and we're going to add a spacer, because if you preload the spring inside of them, it'll help to make them stiffer. I bottom out the front suspension on mine with decent jumps. Lonnie probably isn't too bad. We'll just change out the oil in his and not do the spacer. Probably. But first we got a new set of bearings. This is the new set right here. This is what comes in a kit. This is the old stuff, some of it anyways. We have this lower seal that's going to go on first. We're going to get a piece of tube that'll slide over this so I can knock that all the way down on there. I don't want to damage my race. Perfect. That's the first one. It's got like a nylon seal. This nylon goes bad first, and that's what ends up wearing your bearings out. Our lower bearings, mine just fell apart when I took it apart. You can see the rust. This is the old lower seal, and that rubber piece is gone. So I'd probably buy a new set of these, depending on how much you ride every year. I think it'd be worth it. It's going to go down just like that. But first, watch all the bearings explode off of it.
So how long have y'all had these bikes? A couple years?
Lonnie's we've had for a super long time. Lonnie's we've had for a really long time, probably 4 years. I've had mine maybe 2, but I'm not good with time. It's all blends together. Good stuff. This is multi-purpose pro grade. I'm just gonna dip the actual bearing in. It'll help force it in there. Leave it extra sloppy. I know y'all like some sloppy. Oh my gosh. If you can tell me, I know y'all like them sloppy, what movie that's off of. I'll buy you a brand new vehicle today.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Billy Madison. She was serving them, lunch lady was serving them sloppy joes. She's like, I know y'all like them extra sloppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a movie guru.
I know, that's why I knew my bet was safe. I don't know which one goes where. I don't know if there's any difference between them or what. What I'm gonna do is lay a piece of wood on there and whack it with a hammer. Old fashioned way. The way I would assume my pa would have taught me if he was around.
If your dad ever watches these. There
we go. That's real nice. Alright, don't push your luck. yeah. I'm gonna put a good gobbledygook around this puppy. My grease gun fell behind my toolboxes. So.
It's organized and
whatever
as you are about your tools.
Oh, that's real nice. Now, next bearing. Assuming. Yeah, there's a better way to do this. Should have packed a full grease beforehand. But you know. We have this big nut that also has a race built into it. Okay, now I'm going to get a large set of, you know, adjustable wrench.
Oh, that's what I was going to guess.
I'm going to tighten her up. This is what's weird. The kit only comes with one of these nuts. And you would put the triple clamp on and then put this nut on. And that's what tightens the top of the triple clamp. We have Go Power Sports upgraded one, which is basically out of 1/4 inch thick of steel. But Lonnie's has two. It has this nut that tightens against this one, and then you put the triple clamp on and put another nut, a washer, and then another nut. So I'm assuming.
Can you not reuse an old one?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. But I don't know why. Maybe they changed it in newer models. You're not hammering this thing on either. You're just getting it rub-a-dub snug. There we go. And then what this is going to do is jam this from spinning, and it keeps its tension. Because if you didn't, as you turned, it would work its way loose. Just going to jam against that one. Take our triple clamp, slide on there. Take our new washer, comes in the kit, and the nut that comes in the kit. And we're just gonna snug this because what also holds this is when we put the forks on. So now we can move on to the forks. We're only gonna show you guys us doing one of them because they're the same thing. So if you look at the top, it's threaded and has an Allen shaped hole. We're going to use an Allen in that Allen shaped hole. I'm assuming it's going to be metric, and it is a 12. O-ring was bad on that, I can tell you that. Well, it is now. So when you take this apart, we've done MB200 or this is MB200 Baja mini box, and they're the same. You have a spacer. What this is doing is pre-loading that spring. We're going to add on my bike about 1 inch to that. Yeah. Any hoosies. The spring, you can see it gets smaller coils, like the coils are closer together as it goes down. Make sure to put it back that way. Lovely assistant, will you get me like 3 paper towels and lay them out long ways on there so I can lay this down?
Sure.
I'm going to spray that off with brake cleaner when I'm done. It smells like fish oil. Alright, so this isn't the Miss Redbeard gave us.
That's gross.
And it's important that you pump it like this to get all of it out. You can see as I pump it, there's more coming out. And then when you put the new in it, you want to pump it as well. What I'm going to do is put new Amsoil in it, pump it, and then dump it. Pump it and dump it. That's, edit that out, editor, okay. Because I want to purge all that nasty Chinese oil out there. But if you do this to a Coleman or a Baja, it'll greatly enhance it. Great, now our shocks are shot. That's dead on 100 though.
Look at you knowing stuff.
We did a set of these back in the Dizzy. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this and pour a shot in it. pump it, dump it, and then dump this out and clean it with brake cleaner. And then remember, you can get all your Amsoil products in the video's links.
I thought it was going to squirt out everywhere.
So we know there's 100. We're going to put a little bit more, maybe 110 back in it. Okay, yeah, let's go. See how clean it comes out. Okay. Big shout out to Miss Redbeard for letting me use her measuring cup out of our kitchen.
Maybe you can just have that one and I'll buy a new one.
Great. So I got roped into new freaking kitchen purchases. Unfreaking believable. It is a refreshing thing to be working on something other than dyno and junk. I about found the smallest kid in town and whooped his hind end with this dyno. Okay.
If it could go wrong, it did go wrong
Yes.
today and yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, 3 videos on the dyno. Weren't. Now we're going to clean this with brake cleaner outside where God intended it. Brake cleaner, please. And so I'm going to use my super precision eyeballs to measure this.
Wait.
There's 110. I mean 100. I'm going to go in between the first tick. Is that it?
No, that's 100.
No, I'm looking at it at an angle. Is it in between that first tick and
Nope,
100?
you need to go somewhere. Oh, that's good.
Okay, so remember where we're
blurry.
at. Don't you. I'm going to cycle it to pump out any air bubbles. For the next one, it's not that necessary. That's, you know, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it halfway. That's done. Now, take this off the schmutz. This is probably around 1-inch tube, maybe 7/8. It is 7 grapes, and it's 2 and like 11/16. 2 and 11/16. So I'm going to do it at. I'm going to cut a whole new piece. I think I got some stainless. 1 and 7/8 or 7/8. 7/8 is what size handlebars are on bikes. So I'm going to do it at 3 11/16. Did I say 11/16? Mm-hmm. 3. Look at that. We got pretty state-of-the-art video game system. That's my exercise machine. You can tell it's been put up a while. Oh, that's real nice. That's 1 inch, but that'll probably work though. No, so it has to be 7 grapes. So then I got a set of handlebars I can cut up. I think I do. Oh yeah. Old set of Coleman handlebars. We'll make sure to get the paint off of them. Cut on the mark there. So the O-ring is a metric 210 O-ring size. If you have one of these Harbor Freight O-ring sets, this is the metric one, and it was size 210. It didn't look that bad, but it had a few nicks on it, as you can see right there. Now I end up putting these in the lathe. You can see the original one, the new one, a lot thicker material, same size outside diameter, real nice. So now here's the tricky icky. You have to preload this, like push it down. You drop it to make sure the metal's still good.
Make sure it's strong.
Yeah. This is just ignorant right here.
Call it like you see it.
That was good. Is it cross-thread? Oh. There we go. We have upgraded. Oh, it's real nice. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to upgrading these. Now we can put this one in here. And that should get rid of any sagging it had, anything like that. Real nice. I don't hear no bearings binding. I about forgot to tighten that puppy. Extra tight. Good and tight. I should have got this powder coated. Gosh, I made it. We had an interesting discovery when we pulled apart the other one. This shock, this spring, is shoved up inside of this spacer. Like, it was on there good. So that would have continued to shove up in there and caused a bigger problem. So I'm glad I used the handlebars because they're double the thickness of this. This is like 14 gauge and I'm using 8 inch. So that's going to make sure that don't ever happen again. So I would say to cut, there's another video of a guy done this to his mini bike. He added a socket, like dropped a Craftsman socket down in there. It's kind of a pricey upgrade, but I would just go get an old pair of handlebars off a bicycle or something, or a Baja bike. Their handlebars should be 1/8 inch. But yeah, it was a good thing we checked this because that could have continued to ram up in there and then ruined our forks if it would have scarred the inside. We'll tighten those all the way here in a few minutes. And we upgraded, instead of having a nut and a lock washer, we went to stainless nylon lock nuts. That'll be an upgrade too. The first time we went to go power sports, me and Lonnie was riding, and my freaking handlebars went like that over a jump because they didn't stay tight on whatever bike I was on. You don't want that happening. Could have used a washer, but you know. So this is a Honda dirt bike fender. I like using these on these bikes. You just have to cut off the back portion. So I go right behind this bulkhead where it used to bolt up, and I make a straight line, and then I cut this angle off here. All right, so we got the front and the rear fender installed. I didn't show this, but I cut the original rear fender mount off because it broke in the Go Power Sports race. So I just use galvanized, and I'm gonna get a set of these powder coated just so they don't stick out. But these are just 3/4 inch electrical conduit clamps. I did one up there and then one on each side down here. Used stainless lock nuts and stainless washers. I like this a lot better than the original mount, and one reason why is because it gives way more clearance. That's why the other one broke, is we jumped it hard and the tire went into the fender. Get a back view of this thing. It's looking pretty sweet. We are going to hook up the headlight on this, and I'm going to put light bars on Lonnie's bike. His bike's sitting over here all halfway taken apart. I like the number plate. We're going to keep that. We're just going to put a light bar above or below the number plate on his. Someone showed me this a long time ago, to use hairspray on your grips. It'll help them to slide on. It's not the color grip I wanted because they're going to get stained up and dirty, but I forgot to order grips, and this is what the local shop had. So massive shout out to Eastwood Bikes and Rods. It's real nice. Last piece of the puzzle. Well guys, the MB200 Ultimate Mini Bike is finally finished. We've been waiting for this for months. It's been at powder coat, been stripped down. The last video you guys seen on it was us putting those slugs in the chassis, in the frame, and the bike is so freaking sick, and it's perfect timing because it's beautiful weather outside. It's 70 today and I'm so ready to hit the trails. So we have to do Lonnie's mini bike. We're basically going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to build up his Tillotson 225. A massive shout out to Go Power Sports for this build. Of course, without them, this build wouldn't have been completed. Everything on this thing is top notch, and I freaking love this bike. Doing those bushings was the biggest upgrade. You can really tell, and the front forks. The front forks for my big hiney, you can tell a massive difference in the spring on the front end. So I highly recommend this. If I would do it even if you're not that heavy, because Lonnie's sags, probably, I mean, it's old. Lonnie's is way older than my bike. But we put a lot more beating on my bike. The higher horsepower was really hard on that frame before. So super pumped to have this. So I hope you guys can meet us at one of our meetups this year. We're going to be planning one in the next couple of weeks, and this bike will be there. I will be on it, and we'll be ripping on this thing. So, you know, look out for that. So make sure to check out the links if you want to replicate this build. They're linked all down in the video's description. And also the next video we'll be taking out ripping it and getting Lonnie's take on this new bike. The thing is so mean. 19 horsepower on a mini bike is quite a bit. That's a lot of horsepower for this setup. So super pumped to have it done, and super pumped to start beating on it and riding her. After the next video, which will be the ride and like Lonnie's impressions and stuff, we're going to do a breakdown of what it would cost to replicate this build. Now, I know this is going to be a very expensive mini bike, probably around the $4,000 mark to do all this stuff. But if you think about what you can buy for $4,000, if you was to go buy something new, I'm saying, I'm looking at the Trail 125. I really want the Honda Trail 125. It would cost almost $5,000 after taxes and dealer fees and all that junk. You could have something like this that would outrun that Trail 25, and you build it yourself, so you know every nut and bolt on it. Just to put it in perspective, I know you can find used dirt bikes for cheaper than that, but I'm just saying, if you're looking at new mini bike type vehicles, this thing absolutely rips, and they're super fun to build. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll be riding this thing and ripping on the trails and see what it got. We'll do a top speed with Lonnie on it to see what this bike actually tops out at, and a 0 to top speed to see what she's actually putting down with 19 horsepower. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate your support. We love you, and God bless.